You would have had to go to rural North Carolina to get that joke, ladies and gentlemen. Have you had fun tonight? Well, I'll tell you what, if you've had half as much fun as me, then I've had twice as much fun as you. I want to play you a song that comes from southwestern Virginia, down to the little tippity-tip part of Virginia, over near Kentucky, a little community called Norton, and it comes from a great banjo player who would be considered one of the iconic musicians from southern Appalachia. His name is Doc Baugus. Doc Baugus was an awesome banjo player. He started out his career as a coal miner. He came up out of the mines and had a brief recording career back in the 1920s as a banjo player and a singer. But then he went back down in the mines and fell into obscurity once again until the 1960s when he was rediscovered. And this song is one that he loved to play. Wait, I tuned because I think you care. If you don't care, let me know right now. We'll save a lot of time tonight. Do you care? Yeah. All right. So Doc, he played this song, and the guy in this song he's been in love with a woman, and by his estimation, she has done him wrong. She has left him, and all he has is contempt for womankind. And it gets so bad that at the end, he says, when my earthly stay is over, sink my dead body in the sea, you can tell my false-hearted lover that the whales will watch over me, which means he's given up on the human race entirely and has resorted to oceanic mammalia to be his companion. False-hearted lover blues. Sure, a false-hearted lover gonna lead me to my lonesome grave. Well, but the hand that feeds them spend all the money you can save. From your heartstrings they'll weave silk garters and build a doghouse on your grave. If I ever see that girl again, Lord, I'll tell her all about my trouble. Give her these false-hearted lovers blues, and I'll live stranded in the shallows. When my earthly stay is over, sink my dead body in the sea, and tell my false-hearted lover that them whales will watch over me. Thank you so much. That's an awfully fun song to sing. Now I want to tell you about another little tradition. As I said, I come from North Carolina, and my family's from up in the northern Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. The Appalachian Mountains run diagonally through the western part of North Carolina. So you have the southern part where Asheville is. Many of you might know where Asheville is. But then you have the northern part of the Blue Ridge Mountains right near the Virginia state line, and that's where my family's from, up in a little county called Allegheny County. Sparta is the town there, and interestingly enough, they're not very good with history because the high school there, their football team is called the Sparta Trojans. You know, you can't make this kind of stuff up. But now my family is sort of from that area since 1775. They've been in that same area, and My granny, she loved to go to church. Lord, she loved to go to church more than any woman I've ever seen. And up in there, up in those mountains, there's a lot of different kinds of churches to go to, as long as you don't mind going to a Baptist one. And my granny did. She went to the Rich Hill Regular Baptist Church, and then if there wasn't have a meeting there, she'd go to the Saddle Mountain Regular Baptist Church. Now, there's a bunch of different kinds of churches, like I said. You know, you got the regular Baptists, and you got the Union Baptists. Now, they believe the same thing, they just believe it differently. And then you've got the primitive Baptists, which breaks down into hard shell and soft shell, and the only difference in them is about 45 minutes to when they get to go to lunch on Sunday. Now, but then you got the free will Baptists, and that's an oxymoron. So, now my granny, she clung to the regular Baptist faith, which is different than anything you might consider to be regular in your life. I'll assure you that. Now, all these churches are different, but the one thing that they agree on is that they don't allow any musical instruments in the church. It's a completely unaccompanied singing tradition in those churches. And I remember growing up and being at my granny's house and waking up in some old soft bed that she had back in her house, you know. And I'd be under about 4 or 5 quilts. She laid on me throughout the night. You know what I'm talking about? And I'd wake up and my little chest wouldn't go up and down anymore. You know, I was just wet with sweat, couldn't breathe. And I wondered for years why my granny did that to me. And I realized, because I thought I was going to die. And I wondered why she did that to me. And it's because she loved me and I was her grandbaby. And she didn't want me to get cold in the middle of the night in July. So she'd come and she'd lay a quilt on me every now and then. Now, but my granny, she'd be in there in the kitchen. The Lord, she'd be in there cooking breakfast. She'd be making biscuits and ham and bacon and sausage and just frying them eggs. And she's doing it on a wood cook stove, rattling them old cast iron skillets, just scraping them things across the top of that stove. But she would be singing. She'd be singing those songs that she was getting ready to go to church and sing. Well, she'd be in there in the kitchen singing, and she had this high-pitched voice. She was an old woman, and she had this real high-pitched voice. And I remember laying in there after I'd wiggled out and got me a breath of air. I remember laying in there under them quilts listening to her sing in the kitchen. I was just all snuggled up, and I'd hear her singing. And I just remember laying there under all them covers just thinking how awful it did sound. It was terrible. But then as I got older, I realized how great it sounded and what a wonderful opportunity I had to learn something from my granny that she'd learned from her granny, who had learned from her granny. Been passed down many, many generations. And I started just loving to hear my granny sing. And I'd give anything to hear her sing just a few notes right now. But I'm going to sing you one of the songs that she would have sung. Living in southern Appalachia is a lot like being in a Stephen King novel. There's a lot of ways to die. Those Baptists they embrace death because they know they're going to a better place. So they embrace that death and they sing songs about it and to help with that sorrow. And this is one called "The Day Is Past and Gone," and it's a beautiful song and I hope you all enjoy it. Here we go. The is past and gone. The evening shades appear, and may we all remember well the night of death draws near. We lay our will soon disrobe us all of what we hear possess. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels keep us safe this night till morning light appears. Woo-hoo! I'm going to sing you a quick little song. It comes from a great songwriter from down in Memphis. His name is Ben Nichols. He plays with a band called Lucero. Just goes to show you that anything can be old-time music. And this song one day is going to be looked on as a super traditional song. But I want to send it out to anybody who's been touched by senseless violence or just had a hard time this past year. And that would be all of us. So it's called Last Pale Light in the West. My chest, fire catches in my way, setting sun, dark clouds gather around me, the northwest soul is bound, and I will go on head free. There's a light to be found. It's the last pale light in the west. Oh, it's the last pale light in the west. Oh, it's that last pale light in the west. It's the last pale light in the west. Though I ask no redemption in this cold, barren place, still I see a faint reflection, so by it got my way to the last pale light in the west. To that last pale light in the west. It's the last pale light in the west. And it's that last